Erykah floated, man. You man think I'm joking.
I believe you, though.
Bro, and I told him and Rich at the time, but they didn't pay any mind.
So you didn't see her walk away?
Bro, she didn't walk, man. I promise you. I know what I saw, bro. This woman did not walk on legs.
He raised his
One
voice.
minute she was there, and I don't even remember seeing her feet.
Did you even get time to ask for a picture?
Bro, no, because she wasn't that close to us. She was like, say we're sitting here, she was probably like by the stairs.
Where was this?
In the airport, we're coming back to London.
Where were you, though?
Sweden.
What was she doing there?
She performed. And yeah, obviously we saw her perform and it was dope. And then like, we just randomly saw her at the airport when we were coming back.
By herself?
No, she had an entourage. But bro, what was the maddest thing about that is, yeah, I saw her and I pointed her out to these man. But these man didn't even care like that because obviously they don't appreciate. But bro, I'm telling you, I turned around to them to be, yo, lads, Erykah's there. They didn't flinch, right? Bruv, I turned back here. This woman was levitating and I saw a yellow glow. And the entourage was nowhere to be seen.
She was by herself?
Bruv, that's what I don't understand. That's the maddest part about it. You might think I'm joking. I'm not even joking, bruv. 1 minute Erykah was there. She was with like a couple of people. Then when I turn around to see where she was, I just see the back of her coat. And it wasn't like, like on the floor. It was like mid-level. Yeah, bro, it was mad. So I was like, yeah, no, she's not normal, bro.
This is the intro.
She's not normal, bro.
I believe you, bro.
I told you, man.
No, Pete,
Erykah floated.
Pete, I believe you.
Erykah Badu floated, man. I understand why JLX, Common and all them man went crazy.
It makes sense to you now.
Bro, I get it.
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 38 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast with your boys Peter,
Peace,
Mohammed,
Yep.
and myself, Yemi. It says a lovely Friday evening, lads. How we doing?
Yeah, man, we're all good, man. God is good.
All the time?
All the time, God is good.
I mean, you were clearly happy. You were singing Erykah Badu.
Hey, man.
Talking about green eyes and shit.
No, I just wanted to enlighten you guys, you know?
You didn't.
Enlighten. You didn't. Yeah, you definitely didn't.
Did I not?
I'm still very dark
But
in
you
this
guys
vicinity.
didn't know that Erykah Badu's eyes changed.
Brother, what am I going to do with that information?
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, what is that
It's
now?
just important
For why?
because Erykah Badu's an amazing
No,
artist.
you're going to take that information. You're going to go to the nearest brown-eyed girl and ask her if her eyes turn green when she eats veg.
Is she a reptile fan?
Apparently.
But that's a great song, though.
I'm sure it is.
Listen to it, please.
Mohammed, how was your week?
Only brown eyes, this is Desi child. It's been great, fam.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Okay.
You've had an eventful one, to be fair.
Say that again.
You've had an eventful one.
Say that one more time.
You've had an eventful week, haven't
Yes, I have. Now ask me why Mohammed has had an eventful time.
you? Mohammed, why have you had an eventful week?
Because I was on FaceTime with someone. Ask me who.
Who are you on FaceTime?
I don't want to talk too much. Anyway, so Mohammed was on FaceTime with my jammer.
Who?
I don't want to say too much again, fam. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk too much. But with my jammer.
The Maya Jammer?
Seen as you asked again, my jammer.
The Maya Jammer.
Yep. So what it was essentially Mia
Essentially.
was. Listen, I
Whenever
don't
a
even
roadman starts using words like essentially, yeah.
essentially,
You know some bullshit's coming, bro.
Essentially, yeah.
essentially, yeah. Mia tried to call me one day.
Shout out to Mia.
Shout out to Mia, one of the homies. Tried to FaceTime me one day, and then I remember I didn't ignore it, but I missed it. And then she goes, "Yo, you're gonna hate me." And I go, "Yo, what?" She goes, "No, you're gonna hate me, and you're gonna hate you." I go, "Yo, what?" Because I tried to call her back.
Do you know what it means to hate yourself?
No, literally, because what it was I missed her call. I tried to call her back, and I go, "Yo, did you call me by accident?" She goes, "No, you're gonna hate me." And I go, "She goes, you're gonna hate yourself." I said, "Right, you're gonna hate me, fam." She goes, "And then you're gonna hate me." And I go, "What?" She goes, "If I try to call you, whatever you do, just make sure you answer." I still don't know what it's for. So cool. Mia calls me a FaceTime. I go, "What?" She goes, "Yo, I got something to tell you." I go, "Yo, what is it, fam?" Then she passes the phone. Cool. I don't know who she. No, sorry, she turns the phone. I hear someone go, "Hey, Mo." At this point now, I'm bamboozled. No, let me tell you why. Because I looked at the camera, I looked at the phone. It didn't make sense. I didn't even see my jammer. It was how he felt with Erykah Badu. I saw a white light. Honestly, I think her eyes changed colours, but that's not I want to get into it too much.
Listen, man, you're going to mocking me.
Listen,
Yemi,
I'll tell you, went from brown to blue to green in a
heartbeat.
Bro, in a heartbeat. But anyway, she goes, "Hey, Mo." I go, "Rah, that's my jammer." And we start talking, I go, "How's it going?" She told me, "How's it going?" I was with a couple of people, so I passed the phone around. And she was like, "How you been?" I go, "Yeah, I've been good. How you been?" Cool. I'll say you single. She goes, for you, yeah. I go, all right, now we're
No,
talking.
no.
Whoa.
That's not what happened.
That didn't happen.
Oh,
That didn't happen.
So,
Now I'll just go, like, how you going? And I go, yo, like, I told Mia, like,
Only
yo,
if Mo could be that smooth.
go,
Instead, he's
yo.
saying, I love you.
I didn't go, my first life, I shot the record to show. There's some furniture that's going to start moving in this room, yeah? I
Guys,
said, I love it.
guys,
I was so disappointed when I saw the
Are
video.
you not mad? I will post the video,
I was
fam.
like,
Man
I
said,
was
I
so
love
disappointed,
it.
man.
IT.
audience for context.
Bro, Mo's been through a lot, man, with the
Audience.
streets.
Audience.
And then he loses all the composure when, like, you know, just a woman
Audience.
appears.
We're not doing this, fam.
Audience. What, street trauma?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? This
Me
is
lose
Tottenham
me
representative.
lose composure. Does that even
You know
make
what I'm
sense?
saying?
Audience.
That don't even feel right.
For context. Maya Jama filmed an advert with Coke in which she had lunch with Mo's friend Mia.
Shout out to Mia.
In which Mohammed made an appearance in the advert.
I did.
In which his conversation with Maya Jama was recorded for the world to see. We
was.
will put a link to that advert in the description of this episode.
I said I love it, fam. There's no. Why are we having a
Didn't say that,
conversation?
but I know what I heard.
People, will
Bro,
let you
I know
decide.
what I said.
Nah, you don't know what you said.
You
He
think
told-
I'm-
He told Maya, I love you.
Muhammad.
I was so disappointed
If
when
you
I heard
man
that.
know,
I was so
if
disappointed.
the audience know who I was,
You felt him though.
for me to say I love you is wild.
That's why I was so
Whoever knows
disappointed.
me knows I'm not telling my Jama. I don't get twisted. I do love her, but I'm not telling her I love
Bro,
her.
that's why I was so disappointed.
So anyway, I said, because someone wants to run with this blasphemy. I don't know what. Since he found out I'm the most liked, this guy's got some dumb agenda against me. I don't even want to get into it, fam, because this is an agenda, right?
conspiracy.
This is an agenda. How he's pushing this so hard. It's a bit funny, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, boom.
Conspiracy.
We had that conversation. Obviously, I was in a bit of a rush, so I had to lock it off, but I don't want to get into it.
Of course you did.
Cool. So then I go like, yo, dope to chat to you. She goes, nah, lovely to chat to you. Locked off. And then,
Did you exchange numbers?
nah. And then I said something to Mia. That what I said to Mia made Maya laugh hard.
What
And
did
then
you say?
I said to her, Maya, I got shy about my fucking real life.
So you told her, I'm shy.
No, I got shy.
I got shy about my thug.
No,
in
I
real
said,
life.
no, what did I say? It sounded like I might appear shy. I might have appeared shy.
Yeah.
But tell Maya my fucking real life.
You're 7 feet tall. You shouldn't be getting shy.
So
What's
that
that?
was.
What you say?
You're 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
you
no
shouldn't be
Don
getting
that's
shy.
7 feet.
I didn't
tall
get shy
should
though.
be
I didn't get shy. I just wanted to make her laugh. This is just, you know what I mean? This is
feel
something that funny people do, fam. I want to
Someone
make
like
her
me
chuckle.
could be shy. Someone like you should not be shy.
I'm not shy though. Even the way I talk to her, fam. There's a reason why I stayed on the advert, fam. Because I wanted to shy.
Fam, you're like
I say, yo,
6
walk
foot.
one, fam. But furthermore, I said, yo, what? I said, what's going on?
You didn't do
Wallahi, I asked her what's going on. My verse, I said, how's it going? And she went, oh, it's going good. And then I passed around with the people I was with. Then it come back to me. So I said, hey, what have you been up to, love? I asked her, what have you been up to, Maya?
Love.
I said, what have you been up to, Maya? I'm calling her on first name basis after 35 seconds, but I don't want to talk too much.
I mean, you're not going to call her Miss Jammer, are you?
Miss Jam.
Nah, fam.
Is that her real surname?
I don't even know.
Yeah, she's Somali, fam. Her surname Jama.
Is that like a common Somalian?
Yeah, fam. My brother, my cousin in, he's
Elsewhere?
called Jama, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
So I mean, so what comes from this?
Honestly, this is phase one.
Phase one
Yeah,
of the bigger plan.
yeah.
Okay.
There's 8 phases.
So there's 8.
Yeah.
You want to run us through all?
I can't do that. I can tell you
No?
off air, though.
All right, cool. Tell us off
Come
air,
on,
innit?
fam. Come on now.
And
8
whoever's
phases?
listening,
Don't
if
worry
you're
about
interested to know, maybe drop Mo a DM and he might be able
Don't
to.
DM me for shit, fam.
Or
Don't DM me
email
for
us.
shit.
Or
Don't
email us.
fam.
I'll happily
Don't
answer.
do nothing, fam. Because some of the DMs we get is already... some of your music is already cooking. Don't send me shit.
Just call someone's music crooked. Fucking hell.
Yo, fam. If people only knew some of these DMs we get when someone says, man, check out my music. Fam. Oh, fam.
So, bruv, see, this is what I'm talking about. See, and I don't know if this is going to be kept in yet.
I'm
But,
actually-
bro, I talk to people behind the scenes, and this is the most loved guy. And this is what I don't understand. And yet I'm the bastard.
Because-
he's the demon.
Because
bro.
they live through him, bro.
I don't even
Bro,
say stuff like
so you're
that.
telling me right now,
live through
have you heard one song we got through DM?
Why on earth would I do that?
Ask me, have I? No, ask me, have I?
Have you?
Yes. Ask what I've done. Wallahi, I delete the DM. Mothers, I delete the DM.
Did you?
Wallahi, fam. It was unnecessary. It's childish, furthermore. Don't put me through. No, it's the way they even do it, bruv. These men have a cheek to write a paragraph. Big man, just say can you listen to my music? This guy's writing, been here. Man, take that shove up your ass, fam. Fuck you. No, I get very irritated.
And Mo's the most loved.
No, I get
That's
very
what I don't
irritated.
understand.
Honestly, bro, I get
Bruv.
very irritated, man.
Nah,
I've listened
man,
to.
I don't understand
Nah,
this.
fam. Man, are telling me
I really want to understand.
Man,
what
are telling
I
me
don't.
DM use more about how you think. Furthermore, keep your DM,
Bro,
bruv,
do you know the amount of people that have texted me saying they love Mo? Mo's so funny. Mo's so this. And I appear like the villain. Meanwhile,
You are.
He's saying this. In actuality, I should be the most
Can I
loved.
ask you a question though? Who's more disrespectful? The one that
You know
listens
what
to
I'm
the
saying?
music and has opinion, or the one that doesn't listen to the music? Who's more disrespectful?
If we're talking just music.
Yeah.
I mean, the person who doesn't listen to the music but shits on the music. It's probably more disrespectful
That's
than the
what I'm
person
saying.
who listens to the music and shits on the
Thank you
music.
very much.
So
That's
wait,
why you're the villain.
So wait, you man want me to cut into my precious time to listen to bullshit?
This is why you're the villain, big man. Look at the way you're talking.
I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
It might not be bullshit.
Nah, yo. One of them was.
And anyway, I feel kind of honoured whenever someone tries to send music to us. Doesn't mean I'll listen, but I feel honoured. It means that we're going places.
No, I don't feel honoured. Some of it I feel like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro.
To be fair, some people just want to share music to anyone who will listen. So
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. There's one guy that's been sending us beats since we started, fam. And we haven't picked it up. Why are we going to pick up now, fam?
yeah, for real.
Big man, it's a year and a half later. Do you not have some self-respect? What the fuck am I going to do in 2020 that I couldn't do in 2019? Fuck off, fam.
Shout out to all the people who send us beats though.
Yo, now there's one guy in particular, fam. You work hard for your money, fam.
There's one email in our inbox right now that says, "You'll never see this again," and then he replied to that email himself as a kind of follow up.
Saying you'll never see this again.
Yeah,
Come on, fam. I hope I never see you again.
feel you, Peter.
That's been my weekend, man. So salute to my Jama, salute to Mia. It's been a fun
Salute to
week,
my
honestly,
Jama.
bruv.
Salute to my Jama.
It's
Salute
been
to
really fun.
salute to everybody involved.
Come on,
Salute to
fam. I
everybody
hope I see
involved.
you again.
Peter, how's your week been?
My week's been cool, man. It has not been as eventful as Mo's. Listen, I just had a boring week, just working, and as always, keeping a low profile. But yeah, it's been cool, man. I can't complain. How's your week been?
Yeah, fine. Busy. A lot of work, a lot of commissions, all kinds of stuff, man. Yeah, man. I've kind of been off grid in a lot of ways, but just getting this work done. One dropped today, Heady with one album review. I've got another article with a very big UK rapper as well. I won't reveal who until it's out. And I've got another bio that I got to do for another artist, and another commission I got yesterday through our guy Jesse. So yeah, shout out to Jesse. And it's been a busy one, but
you're
move.
busy, bro.
So wait, let me just get this straight, yeah. So Mo's out here having FaceTime conversations with Maya Jama. Yemi's out here
Interviewing
writing bios
icons.
and interviewing like
Legends.
legendary MCs, and I'm just here. So I'm technically the Michelle of this thing.
You got info clearing.
This might
So
get
you're Beyonce, Mo's Kelly.
bro. Me FaceTime Maya don't mean shit. Like if it happens again, I'm above you lot. But just as a one-off, it don't mean nothing. Let me FaceTime again.
But just know your industry rankings has risen again. So yeah, let's move on to the first segment of the week, which is what we've been listening to, guys. So Peter, what have you been listening to, sir?
I wrote it down just because my memory is poor. I listened to there's a rapper called GQ, signed to Ninth Wonder. He dropped an EP called Midsummer's Nightmare. I checked that out. I thought it was really good. Willie the Kid dropped an EP called Capital Gains, dope. Listened to Elzai's new album. T3 from Slum Village released a song a couple of years ago, Music Soul Child, I just heard, which I really liked. Conway's new album, finally heard that. J Electronica's Act 2, finally heard that.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it, man. I prefer the album that he dropped with Jay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I much preferred it, to be quite honest with you. But I enjoyed it though. It sounded beautiful, beautiful music. But yeah, I prefer the one he released with Jay-Z. And then yeah, Kamal Williams, Wu Hen. I finally got to check out that album, which I really enjoyed. That's pretty much it, man. On the way here, I was listening to Luther Vandross, You Stopped Loving Me. Why you do that?
Did need to know the name of the
You know what
song.
I'm saying? Just letting you know.
Did need to know the name of the
You know
song.
what I'm saying? Yo, Skinny Luther is underrated, bro.
Skinny Luther.
Yeah, because he got fat, innit? You know what I'm saying? So a lot
difference.
of Luther fans were saying, yo, Fat Luther was the one, but Skinny Luther was the one, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take your word for
But
it.
that's pretty much it. And
Such
then
a
bit
backpacker.
of Marvin Gaye today and
Sound like a
I think
soulful-
Pun as well. Yeah, that's it.
Such a backpacker. Mohammed, how about you?
Not as many people as Peter. I can tell you that for free. Been listening to a thing today, this week, heavy A-R-Ab. A-R-Ab's a rapper from Philly. If nothing else, go to the diss track he sent from Meat Mill. It's absolutely amazing. I believe every bar he says.
I feel like he sent for Meat Mill when Drake was sending for Meat Mill.
When it's just saying like, just come out of jail, guess I'm going back. I believe him. But been listening to heavy A-R-Ab, been listening to heavy Beanie. I don't know why, I've just been listening to a lot of Philly rappers recently. Freeway I was listening to as well. So, those three. I've also, do you know what song I found recently again? And I don't even care if man judge me for it. Remember Marcus Houston's song, That Girl?
No,
Yeah, I remember.
I've been rinsing that song out, bro. Yeah, so no one here remembers That Girl.
I don't remember that.
No, I remember.
It was a banger, right?
Yeah, it was good.
I was listening to that song this week as well. If I can have that girl. Stop it, fam. Said you.
Are
What?
you dedicating that to someone? Do you have
Me?
someone in mind when you sing that?
Oh, salute to Maya. She already knows.
Oh my God.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So you know why Peter's a dickhead? Let me tell you why Peter's a dickhead. He asked me, is there anyone you want to dedicate to that? He knew who I was going to say.
I didn't know you
then
were
he
gonna say
goes, oh my God.
See, I don't even sound like that. But I didn't know you were going to say Maya.
Oh my God.
Who do you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
Cool. Who else would I dedicate to?
Who?
Tell me I got a girl. See the way you laughed at that? Yeah, but who you been listening to?
This week, I've been kind of light, to be honest. New West Side Gun album, Who Made the Sunshine, really, really good. I still don't think it's as good as Pray for Paris, but it's nice. It's a nice one. I really like it. I've also been listening to Rude Kid and Sir Spyro. They dropped a joint instrumental EP called Rude Sounds, which is just very grimy grime, which is really good.
Why is he laughing?
I don't know why you're laughing.
Because that album sounds so 2001.
What, Rude Kid and Sir Spyro?
No, Rude Sound. Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember Kaching?
Yeah.
Rude Boy.
Yo, this guy's
Are you going to try and mock some... Don't mock legends like that. Don't mock legends like that, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't mock legends like that. It's Kaching. Bro.
Taj.
Is that his name?
Taj and them.
Was it Taj?
Yeah, man.
Anyway...
Why do I remember that?
I don't understand. I don't know.
Is it Kaching?
And also I've been listening to this artist called OTG, who is affiliated with Little Sims. He's like a close collaborator with Little Sims, and he dropped an EP this year called Ferry. Very short affair, about 12 minutes, 5 songs, very jazzy, very alternative, dope beats, dope rhymes, like very, very good. So he's one to watch out for. And I've also been listening to the new Heady album as well, Edna, which is really good from front to back. Strongly recommend that one if you can listen to any of the ones that I've mentioned, because that's a really good one. And I feel like Heady is onto something, man. He's on his way to the top very steadily.
I believe that.
For sure. Of course you would.
Come on, fam. His involvement. Right, fam. When did my
It's
English
fine.
go?
Your mind's still scrambled from the convo with Maya. So
It is, isn't it, fam?
Boy.
It is, because I'm not going to lie. But to see the way he's evolved is actually great to see from where he first started to how he is now.
Yeah, man.
He's definitely...
Tottenham are winning this week,
definitely
boy.
grown artistically. What you say?
Tottenham are winning this
We
week.
always win, just not the football team.
For sure.
Just quickly, Chipmunk tweeted, hurry up for fuck's sake. And then KMT, he's ready for war. He's ready for war. And Chip's ready for... Man said, hurry up.
Nah, man. He doesn't need to hurry up.
Yo, he's ready though.
He doesn't need to hurry
Nah, Stormzy needs to hurry up. You had a certain...
This could end up...
No, you cannot tell
bro,
me...
Listen.
You can...
Before you say anything, if Stormzy rushes this,
I'm going to tell you why he needs to
it's
hurry
going to
up.
be Drake Pusher.
No, I'm going to tell you why
It's
he
going to
needs
be
to
Drake Pusher all over again.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you...
why do you say that?
Should we start
Because I
now, or
think
do you
Chip
wanna
has
intro
way
the
more on Storms than the other.
Chip.
I think Chip has way more on Storms than the other way around.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question? Yeah, me.
That's why he was willing to bait him out, hoping that he takes the
Yeah,
bait.
but could you argue that Chip has played these cards too early?
Nah. He played
Absolutely
his cards
not.
perfectly. This was
Absolutely
like...
not.
He even timed it. You remember
Absolutely
he
not.
ran up in his house in June?
Oh, so,
Chip's-
that's not a
That
recent
video was from June.
That was from the Black Lives
was from
Matter.
June.
That was from the Black Lives
Yeah.
Matter. That was when all that
So
was
Chip's
happening.
been sitting on this for...
I didn't know that.
Chip's been sitting on this since
Oh, that's a plot
June.
twist.
But then also, I've got... By the way, I'm in 2 minds about that Chip video, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Oh, that's a plot twist.
Just quickly.
So wait, when did you man find out it was from June?
He wrote on it June. And then his
His tweet next
said
to the
June.
video was June.
But his manager also confirmed it. His manager goes, this happened in June. Stormzy tried to run up and down allegedly. And then they called the police and stuff in June. So his manager even confirmed that happened in June.
But then, I don't know, came out after that. So he went to his house.
yeah, but Waze came up before that.
Yeah, Waze Up came out before
Yeah,
that.
Wait,
so
wait,
Waze-
what are these songs? What?
So Waze is the one. Remember the one I sent you when it was Young Ads? Remember I sent it to you when it came out? It was Young
Yeah,
Ads,
Young Ads,
Skepta,
Chip,
and Skepta.
yeah.
And then Chip's got a verse where he goes, talk about King, if you've been here.
When did that come out?
That came out in, I want to say April?
That came out in March.
Yeah. That came out in March.
That's a long time though.
No, but then,
Something must have happened between that.
nah, supposedly, because even Chipmunk goes, and you remember Chipmunk's in this, he goes, I thought she broke you out to what Maya, but really it was Waze. That's why he said that in the song. He goes, I thought she broke your heart, but really it was Waze. Or something like that. Do you remember that? He had one of them was. So going back, just the timeline aspect. So that happened. I don't know, when did the Dutch of Eddie song come out? Must have
I
come
think
out.
it must have come out after June.
Did it?
Yeah, that was only like a couple months ago.
Because when I interviewed him, which was, I want to say August or July or August,
Dachavelli.
it had already been out, yeah.
Okay,
It
cool.
already came out.
So then, obviously, Stormzy still fell away and traveling up in his house, innit? And then,
I
No,
think-
but he ran up on him before I Don't Know came out.
Yeah.
So he ran up on him, nothing happened, and then he sent a subliminal on I Don't Know.
Yeah.
And then this shit happened.
I think more is happening behind the scenes.
It must be.
I don't know how much it could be. Because Chipmunk said on the thing, he goes, I want to diss me, I want to keep it to the pen, try run up in my yard.
Yeah, and he said something about giving you my address on some cool shit.
Because you remember he also goes, I know where you live as well. Because they've been dogs. It's not like they don't know each other. It's a small circle. So they know each other. I feel two ways about the video. Because...
What, the one with Stormzy running up?
Yeah, like...
Well, why post it?
Why post it? What do you benefit from posting it, bruv? Like, you know what people are going to run with.
I mean, showing people that Stormzy isn't what he seems.
What? But Stormzy, Stormzy's... What do you mean?
It's the art of war.
Stormzy's song album's called Gang Signs of Prayer. Everyone knows what Stormzy's on. Just because man does
Yeah, but
gospel,
nobody
don't mean-
expect.
Yeah, but bro, it's the art of war, though.
It is.
This is all part.
Nobody
of
expects
that's what I said to you.
Stormzy to
I don't
run
think
up
he
on
went too
someone's
early.
house. No one expects Stormzy to run up on someone's house when he's the nation's darling.
I
the nation's
promise you, I was
sweetheart.
not surprised. I was not
disagree
surprised.
with that.
I am not surprised Stormzy
I don't
ran up.
know.
Do you remember Stormzy's songs before he came out? Stormzy's been talking road shit. Why are people surprised if he
Not
left it?
running up on someone's yard.
Stormzy
Heady One raps about that sort of shit. He
And I
doesn't
wouldn't be
actually
surprised.
do it.
I would not be surprised if why are people surprised if people live up to what they rap?
You don't think Heady would do it, though?
Not now.
Why?
Because
You can't
it's in a
take
whole
that
different
out.
field now.
Yeah, but you can't take that out of someone. If you feel
Yes,
like
you can.
I don't think you can. People
You
are-
definitely can.
I'm not surprised because of what he's rapping about. I am not
I'm
surprised,
surprised.
if you live what you rap.
I'm
If
surprised.
man are saying, even in his album, he's got one day blinded by your grace, next day bang in your face. Cool, he said that on a bar. Why am I surprised if he lives that now? Why am I surprised one day blinded by, next day bang in? Why am I surprised?
Because he's a pop star. That's why. Why should a pop star be running up on another
Because
man's
in
house?
his mind, he's a man first. So in his mind, you disrespect
he
me as
played
a
his mind.
man.
He played his mind wrong. He didn't even disrespect him like that.
I agree. No, see, now again, I'm not. I disagree with you. I don't think this was that bad. I'm just saying, I am not shocked that Stormzy went up to a man's yard.
But that's why I think more happened behind the scenes, though. Because you know what it means for you to run up on someone's house? Like, take music away from it. Just on some man shit, right? Street shit. If I go to someone's yard, right? If I'm going there with the sole intention of confrontation.
Yeah, allegedly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that lets me know that there's been some form of communication behind the scenes. I don't think he just heard the indirect and was like, "Yo, I'm going to his house." Because we got to figure out the.
We got to hear from
timeline.
Stormzy though.
We got to hear the timeline as
Indirect
well.
was sharp
We
as
got to
well.
hear from
though.
Stormzy,
That Wade's bar was tough as well, though. When he goes, "I'll piss in your crowd," or something like that, fam. Chip was talking his shit.
We have to hear from Stormzy though, because we're not going to hear from Chip unless Stormzy responds.
Yeah.
Either way, one of them is going to spill what actually happened if something happened. Because I agree with you. Like going from zero of just having a little subliminal,
It doesn't make
at
sense,
you
bro.
to running up on someone's yard is a bit sketchy. So
Because even when Jay and Nas went at it, there was a lot of stuff that was happening behind the scenes
different in London as well.
before Jay even put out Takeover. And when Nas put out Ether, it was
But
months
it's different.
later, bro.
It's different in London, bro. The reason why I think Stormzy needs to come back soon.
New York isn't that different from London, bro.
I get what you're saying. I'm just like the music industry, though. It's just smaller here, bro. Like it's just small in terms of.
But I don't
even
even
the people are smaller.
But this isn't even a music
No, but I'm
industry
just-
thing, though. This is real. This is some street
That's what I'm
shit.
saying.
This is
So
some battle rap
that's why
street shit.
I'm not surprised what my man done. Like
I'm still very surprised by that.
I'm
bro.
not surprised
because of what Yemi said. He's a pop star.
Yeah, but
and if he did run, no,
He's a
that
man
don't even make
first,
sense.
bro.
I was gonna say if he ran up on his yard based on Chip's diss, but that's not even possible because Chip only came out of his all out diss recently. The subliminals
That's
were
what he said.
way,
though.
were way before.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
goes,
March.
So it doesn't even make sense. So that's what I'm saying. Something must have happened.
Well, according to Chip, the only thing backstage that we wouldn't have been privy to was the fact that he wanted to hop on a song with Stormzy, and Stormzy said no. That's only.
Do you know what song it was?
Don't know what song it was, but
Chip
that's the
said-
only
Chip
inside
said no.
information that Chip has shared, which leads me to believe that if something has happened, he's willing to share his perspective of that if Stormzy responds.
He's
And if-
waiting for it.
Of course, he's willing.
Stormzy's definitely in the timer, though. You keep that same energy. You had a certain energy to Wiley.
In that case, then he's failed the test.
have to keep
Yemi
that-
said that as well. I disagree with that.
No, bro, you can't. You can't.
I said it helps the narrative.
Yeah, you can't.
For someone like Chip, you cannot be on.
You
a
cannot
timer.
backtrack. If
why?
Wiley
It's a
says-
tough one.
No, let me tell you why.
But why?
I'm gonna tell you
Let
why.
me explain.
Pete, just quickly. I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, just quickly. If Wiley said for Stormzy came back and said, "Boom, you got 24 hours." Chip's now said, "Yo, hurry up! What the fuck are you on, bro? You need to have that same energy to have to
I
Wiley."
don't think it's the
what
same.
it's different because Chip is on another level of rapping.
No, I don't think it's the same, man, because you have to also remember Chip went at him subliminally first. Stormzy responded to the first subliminal very quickly because the time frame between the tune with Young Ads and Skepta wasn't that far away from the one that Stormzy did with Dutchavelli and Tion Wayne.
Yeah.
So him now responding to Chip's all out diss doesn't have to be that fast.
It has to be.
And if we're gonna deep it,
because he responded to the
no, it's
if we're gonna deep it,
Why
if we're gonna
the
deep,
indirects and this
if
is
we're gonna
different.
deep it, it took Chip what 4 months to
Yeah,
respond to
no, I
that.
agree.
So why
No,
does so then why does Stormzy have to
But
hurry
this
up?
is a different because
my argument is the whole narrative of the war, especially in context of the Stormzy Wiley war, is the immediacy. How fast you respond, how fast you're able to shoot a video. It helps the narrative of how good of a war it will be if Stormzy responds quickly. He doesn't have to, but it just makes the story more entertaining. Do I think he should? Absolutely not, because as you say, Chip was a warlord. He needs to take his time with it, especially if Chip had taken his time as well.
Chip's definitely,
Barring what we don't know about what happened behind the scenes. Stormzy needs to be very, very careful. He needs to give it his all. He needs to tap into something different.
You think he's got it in him?
To win the war?
Yeah.
No. Unless he's got like cataclysmic dirt on Chip, which is really all we care about.
Now,
the bars are all well and good, but we hung on to that Stormzy Wiley battle off what he said about Cadell, what he said about Wiley's mum. We don't remember the bars.
Yeah. But then if Stormzy says...
And Chip kind of invented that, to be honest.
Yeah, true. But then Stormzy got a lot of play here. I can't see Chip losing, no, regardless. I think Chip's the superior rapper. But Stormzy can kind of sun Chip.
How?
Like, yo, like, I've come to you, you ain't done nothing, I've rejected you on a song. Who knows what other background information Stormzy's got? That's what it comes down to, I guess, the information that they both come with. But can
That's what
Chip
I'm-
really
that-
talk... I don't mean to cut you off. Can Chip talk gun shit to a man that ran up in his house and he didn't do nothing?
But we don't know the full story.
I'm just saying, if that happened, though, if that video was the last thing that we push on.
I mean, if it wasn't in, he wasn't in.
No,
innit?
Chip says it on the song, like, yo, you ran up in my side and done. He even said
Was Chip home?
No, but I'm just saying he ran up, but then he ran up in your yard regardless. Whether
That don't mean shit.
You talked to my sister, he ran up in my house regardless.
Was that
right?
his sister?
Yeah.
That recorded it?
Yeah, and his manager. Oh no, his manager. His manager was at his house.
But Chip weren't there. If
I'm
Chip
saying-
weren't there, then it don't mean shit, bro.
If man knock on my door and someone answers my door, you ran up on my yard, bro.
No, you don't. What are you talking about, bro? That's crazy coming from you. You can't say that, bro. If you're on some real road beef and I come to your yard and you're not there, have I punked you? That makes zero sense,
but it's
bro.
the fact that you've come to my crib.
It don't mean shit if you're not
It's
there.
no, but if you come to my crib, I know what you're on now.
So what does that mean?
Surely I have to do something about it.
What do you mean? I
So
wasn't
what,
there.
man? So what if you just leave it?
No,
at that?
I get what you're saying.
No, bro,
because
you
it-
ran
no,
up
because
in my-
if it's
I'm not saying they've run up in your house, but they've come to your crib.
yeah, but if it's that, if it's really
You've
that,
come to my crib.
come back when I'm here.
And you've come with 4 man, so you've come to my crib with 4
but I
man.
wasn't home.
Yeah, but Pete, I think you're thinking of this in a nobler sense. I get what Mo's saying. Like, if I'm your op and I run up on your house, even if you're not home,
You've come to my
You
yard.
might want to retaliate by coming to my yard.
And then you're going to tell me
regardless.
on a diss, bruv, I will do this and do this. Like, yo, man, come to your crib, you ain't doing nothing to me. Now you want to go do something to me because I
Yeah,
said for you on a
because now
bar.
you know what the levels are.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not home, okay, I've got to retaliate in the same type of way.
And now I'm going to...
I think it become. I think
Stormzy can play that very well, that's what I'm saying. He can play that angle very well.
I think it depends on what was done when you came to said person's
I
yard.
agree with that.
If you just came and had a couple of words with my manager and my sister, then I don't really think you don't have the upper hand in any way. Now, if you've put hands on someone, then it's a whole different conversation.
I think the intention is different, bro.
I feel you.
Intention,
I don't
just 'cause-
care about intention,
I feel
bro.
what you're saying. I'm just saying, me personally, if someone, even if the intent, you coming with 4 man and I know what it is and you've come to my road and you've come to my door, bro, it's a different feeling.
If it's that serious, you'll come back. If the intention is really there, then you would have put hands on my manager. Now, if you do that, then we're taking it somewhere else.
Did he put hands on the manager?
No, he ain't gonna do that. Stormzy, fam.
So then, I don't think it even matters that he pulled up at his yard.
I
Me
think it
personally.
Yeah, but pride, ego
I think to a certain
will make
degree
you
definitely
do
matters, yeah, man.
Yeah.
shit like
It's just the-
running up on someone
yeah.
else.
Like, what would you have done if I was there?
We'll be having a whole nother conversation.
No, I'm just saying. Do you get what I'm saying? Though?
I personally,
Like,
I personally think it would have been nothing more than a conversation.
I think they would have. Like,
I think it would have been a
And it's the
conversation.
way
I
you
don't
say-
think. I just don't know, man. I don't think Stormzy's that way inclined, man. Just generally, I just don't. I don't think he's that way inclined. I don't think he's that way inclined. That even if he did bring goons, I don't think he brought the goons with the sole intention of fucking up Chip
I think
physically.
he wanted to fuck him up, but I think he wanted to set some sort of pace on him,
beat him up,
potentially,
allegedly.
depending on which way he takes it. Allegedly,
But this is what I mean, though. I don't think he's got that in him to just do that.
I feel you. I'm just
Why
saying.
do
I
you
think
think that?
Again, his position, his disposition, as far as being a nice guy, this, that, and the other. I don't care if he raps about what he raps about. At the end of the day, he's got a reputation to protect as a pop star. It's not going to look good if he's running up on someone's yard to beat him up when he's got a fucking Cambridge scholarship, when he's a pop star,
See, this way
when,
it's
he's, when
tricky.
all
Yeah,
this
but
is...
bro,
I don't think-
I don't think he loses
I don't-
anything. Even, say Chip was there and he put hands on Chip. I don't think Stormzy loses.
But why would he
anything,
risk?
bro.
But why would he
If,
risk?
if anything, he gets more accolades.
But
from
why
the,
would he
from
risk
the
it?
roads.
But why would he risk it?
Good question.
That's all I'm saying. I don't think he would have gone there just to beat him up.
The same reason why Jay stabbed on Rivera when he was multi-platinum.
Rivera.
When it was multi-platinum.
See, this might be the cynic in me as well. I'm just saying, this might be the cynic in me. Maybe he don't care.
Maybe you don't care.
Maybe he just doesn't care about. Maybe we're overrating the fact that he's got all of it. Maybe he generally Stormzy might be just Stormzy at the end of the day. Maybe he don't care about white people recognizing him,
bro.
and being white famous. Do you know what I'm
there
saying?
was a conversation behind the scenes.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying. No, I
100%,
feel you.
bro.
I'm just saying. I don't think you don't think it's just.
Nah, there was 100% a conversation. You're not just running up on someone's house. They've had a conversation where Chipper said something he didn't like.
That's Stormzy didn't like.
Yeah, 100%. I just don't. I'm not believing anything else, bro. Even if it was in June, I don't care. There's been some contact, bro. Storms ain't just gonna hear the subliminals a couple months before and decide, you know what? Today's the day I go to his house. Nah.
Yeah, don't add that.
They've-
Why would you go to a man's house in
Yeah,
June?
man.
When
There's
this
been
came out?
some form of.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
The track came out in March.
You got as long. Obviously, we're not in that life at all, but you also got to put yourself in that mind frame as well, man.
Yeah, if the song's coming out in March.
If you're beefing someone on road, yeah, you're setting on them as and when. You're not waiting months before.
Especially when you consider
Yeah,
the
you're not sitting.
Yeah,
especially
come
when
on,
you
man.
consider with the whole Wiley thing. Wiley was arguably more disrespectful in the open, and Stormzy didn't do anything of the sort.
Yeah, right. Especially when the song came out in March, you're not going to man's yard in June. I'm just saying, I count that as running off on someone's yard.
But lyrically, though, it's going to be fun. I don't feel like Storms can win it. He could put out a better diss, but I think lyrically, I don't think he can be superior to Chip. I think Chip's a different type of animal. So I think Storms is going to have to come with a lot, man.
Stormzy's in a tricky position.
Which is why he has to
because,
take his time.
Yeah, he's going to have to come with a
like,
lot.
as soon as Stormzy's diss track comes out, Chipmunk's come back within 24 hours. That's why Stormzy's in a tricky position. Chipmunk's waiting for him. As soon as I guarantee you, Chipmunk will have something now within 48 hours. On some,
I don't
40
so
hours,
much
yeah.
care about the time frame.
no, I'm just saying.
I do believe.
The problem is though, Stormzy's now got a thing where his hype isn't gonna last that track, because as soon as that track comes out, I don't think Chipmunk's even gonna give him the time to breathe. If you get what I'm saying,
He's not.
the way he's waiting for him, bro.
I think the window of his response doesn't have to be as immediate as you man feel. I personally
I agree
think.
with you.
But he does have the window of interest is there as well. You can't wait so long to where no one cares anymore. With that respect, he does have a bit of a window.
But surely you gotta
I
have
don't
that-
think I'm not giving him like a week or two.
You don't think he needs that same
I
energy,
don't
though,
think that
he has
matters.
to Wiley?
I don't necessarily think that matters. I think as soon as he drops a reply, people are going to care again, regardless of how long it takes.
Maybe.
And then Chipmunk was still
I
the
think
funder
so.
within 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it's back on Stormzy.
Chip has probably already got a few songs in the
He's been sitting
chamber
on this
already.
since June, bruv.
He's probably
Who
got a
knows
few
how
songs
long-
already
how
in
many
the
things
chamber.
He's got, bruv.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
gonna be interesting.
it's going to be very, very interesting. Again, Stormzy needs to take his time. Like, this isn't Wiley. This isn't someone that you can just try to embarrass. Like, you can try to embarrass him, but you still got to at least be lyrically there with him too.
Is this the biggest back and forth we've had in a long time?
What, lyrically?
Yeah. And stature as
nothing,
well.
Nothing's happened yet.
No, just obviously when Stormzy comes back, it's stature as well. Is this the biggest back and forth we've had in a long time?
I don't know if it's the biggest, but
In terms of the names, just the names, just
it's
the
the most
names.
exciting in a while. Because Stormzy and Wiley had the potential to be quite big because of how we view Wiley,
Yeah.
and because of how we view Stormzy.
I still think Stormzy and Chip might be bigger though.
I don't know.
Because of
I don't
why
know-
Wiley
I
is
don't
no,
know
because of
about
where
that.
Wiley is at this stage of his career. His name, yeah, but I'm saying because of where Chip is right now, where Stormzy is right now.
I mean, there are similarities between Chip and Wiley in it because they're both warlords in their own right. But at the same time, Wiley's probably bigger just because of his overall status
Fair enough.
and importance to Grime. Chip, his status is a bit different just because of there's been a lot of hit and miss throughout his career. So I don't know if it's as big, but it's definitely exciting just because of Chip's capabilities as a battle MC. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking
And it's the
forward
first time
to it, man.
Stormzy's been tested, isn't it?
Wiley tested him.
Wiley didn't test him, bro.
Wiley tested him.
Wiley didn't even get
You
a
didn't
shot.
like your response, but Wiley...
Wiley didn't even get a shadow punch, bro. Wiley didn't even get a shadow punch, bro. Now, Wiley, stop it. I'll give you 10 if you recite one of his bars.
my memory's bad.
You hear me? Your memory's good. But I guarantee if I say still disappointed, you know what I'm talking about.
Something to the effect of the game is mine, shut up.
Who said that? Storms.
Wiley.
The
Do you
game
remember any
is
of
mad.
Stormzy's
I think
bars?
it was Idiot's
remember
Gang Man 3.
Ask me.
No.
Wiley, I'm still disappointed.
That's what you remember.
Fam, I said, next day Heathrow, Terminal 3. Stop it, fam. He buried him underneath the... What does this thing say,
Don't
fam?
act like it was the most amazing bar.
Do you know
It
what I'm saying?
wasn't. It wasn't. Did it do the job?
I mean,
It did the job because of what he was talking about.
Yeah, but Wiley kind of defeated himself because of all the extra shit he was doing. Because if he had taken a different approach, the optics of it would be very different.
Wiley was the old man in that battle.
Yeah, he was.
He
He
was the-
was moving like a loser.
Yeah,
But
he was
also,
the old man.
but also, as what is very important in modern beefing, he didn't have anything on Stormzy.
That's true.
He didn't have anything on Stormzy. That's why he wasn't able to expose anything. Meanwhile, Stormzy was. That's why he won.
Stormzy let it all go, fam.
Really and truly, he won because he was able to expose Wiley for other shit. It wasn't because of anything lyrical. People were killing Stormzy for hopping on a drill beat first. So, it's definitely not the bars.
I'm so gassed to hear this Stormzy and Chipmunk thing back and forth. I can't even lie, man.
It's gonna be fun.
Flowers is hard.
Yeah.
Killer
I
MC,
prefer that, you know.
Killer MC, I didn't care so much for.
Flowers
But
was
I
hard.
like Flowers more than Kill MC. I like Flowers Kill MC.
just as a song, man. The beat, everything, man. Just
It
fire.
was just a surprise factor I loved as well, fam. Bit unexpected. Oh, what's this?
Do you know what that shell is?
What?
That shell that he was at?
Nah, the petrol station.
Yeah.
I ain't got a clue, mate. Not Tottenham.
Okay.
Actually, it might be Tottenham, but I ain't got a clue. I'm very biased on this.
You must be loving it right now.
I'm very biased.
North
fam.
versus South.
It's not even going to be, oh my days.
No, South, we got a fight.
Okay. Everyone had a fight against Mike Tyson until he got punched in the
It's a
face.
shame that Stormzy's are representative.
Who would you rather
would
be
you
a
rather?
representative?
Well, from South.
Yeah.
P Money.
And cool. Make it a handicap match. Chuck someone else in there.
No, shut up. Don't do that.
I'm trying to
Why
say-
we doing that?
That's a handicap match. That's short.
Why we doing that? P Money
Dot
Alright,
Rotten.
cool.
can take chip.
Dot rotten.
Give me Dot Rotten.
Alright, cool. And then if I add Skepta,
Lyrically.
Just lyrics.
just lyrics, Rich Free too.
Just lyrics.
Rich Free too.
Are you saying Chip and Wretch are your best bars? Your best two bars?
Bro, we're not doing this again. What episode did we talk about East versus West versus North versus
Oh yeah,
South?
you're right. And we all agreed. So silly me.
I said East.
But we're talking about...
You must have said Tottenham.
I'm saying
But we're talking...
Bro, some man act like the episode don't exist.
it don't exist.
We're talking about in relation to beefing and warring. We're not talking about generally.
Okay. In that case, yeah.
So you would pick Chip and Wretch.
Warren. I don't know, man, because I think Skepta's good at Warren.
Yeah, P Money and Dot.
Yeah, when it comes to warring, P Money and Dot. For South, anyway.
Yeah.
Good luck to Stormzy. You're going to need it.
Realistically, how long do you think he's going to...
I'll give it 3 songs each.
No, how long do you think it will take for him to respond?
Oh, I think by Monday we'll have a song.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he's got a response next week.
I'll say by Monday we've got a song. So I think by Monday we've got a song. And then by Wednesday we've got a Chipmunk response.
Yeah, but even
Damn.
if Chip wins, what happens? Is there going to be like I don't think Storms is going to be affected. Like
He will be affected.
I don't think so. Man.
Not affected in terms of sales
I mean,
selling out shows,
street
nothing
cred,
like that. To us, man. Not even to us, man.
Street
Just
cred,
to
innit?
just
Street
the street shit. He would be looked at like.
I
He
don't
got bodied
No,
by
no,
Chip.
no. Wait, the street shit or lyrical MCs? Because they're two different.
Just the everyday
conversations.
man, they're gonna be looking at him like, yo,
Nah,
I'm
disagree-
telling you,
I
bro.
disagree with that, man.
They will look at him like no one listens. To
Pete, tell me more.
I don't think it's going to affect Stormzy in any way. I just feel like it would have been a battle. He would have lost. He's going to move forward. It doesn't do anything to him as a man. It doesn't do anything as far as his reputation in the streets, and it doesn't do anything to his reputation in grime. It's just a battle that he's lost.
What if he gets battered?
Some of the great grime MCs haven't been successful in battles. Do you know what I'm saying? And it hasn't affected them. Like
It's a different generation though. Now,
Gets
man.
versus P Money, whichever way you look at it, you got fans that feel like yo Gets was subpar.
Do you know what's
and,
important?
And people that feel like P Money was subpar. Those guys are still legends in their own right. They didn't lose, they ain't lost nothing. If anything, they've both kind of gotten better after that.
But if I'd like to throw a spanner in the works of your argument, the main difference between those guys, okay, I'm not even going to say that, there's footage of Stormzy running up on Chip. So if he ends up losing this battle, naturally, he's going to lose a bit of credibility somewhere.
Nah, I disagree with that, man. I feel like even him, the footage of him running up on Chip's yard doesn't even count for anything in this battle. Do you know what I mean? Because that's street shit, bro. That's real life man shit. Now that's parked. The diss tracks is music. Two completely different things. So I don't think we think about the fact that he ran up on his yard if he loses. That don't mean shit. To me,
You are definitely an old head, man.
No, to me, I agree with you on that.
I don't think it means
if he
shit,
gets
bro.
losers and it's like, in my opinion, if he gets,
But why
battered-
does
I
that
think
make-
you
why
guys
does
are
that make me an old
I think you guys are underestimating social media, man. And I'm thinking solely for the fact of people on social media or people just generally
They'll
are
joke.
gonna.
They'll have jokes.
So you don't think they're
They're
genuinely
done
gonna?
all of this and you still lost.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing to like real life though, man. Like social media is some bullshit. Real life, that don't mean shit.
But people might think that genuinely anyway. Even if they're joking about it, they might genuinely mean when they say Stormzy has lost credibility. Whether it's a little bit here or a little bit there, of course it's not going to affect his
Well, if
bottom line,
anything-
it's not going to affect his money or whatever. But to certain people, we can't speculate on Stormzy not losing any kind of cred from losing this battle, especially after he ran up on a man's house. I don't care if that's real life street shit. At the end of the day, it's used as an accessory, as a part of the war, to start off the war. So if you're starting off the war that way and you've lost that war, surely you're going to lose some kind of credibility to some people. Not that it's going to affect anybody.
Bro, man, we can't like merge the two. I feel like we're merging like him running up in his yard in with the battle raps. We can't do that, man. I just don't. For me, I just can't allow.
It's part of the narrative, though.
I suppose. I suppose.
he kicked
but-
it off.
I suppose, but if anything, he probably gained a bit of credibility, street credibility,
Stormzy?
because he ran up on his yard. Yeah,
I said that though. I believe it. I don't know.
Yeah,
why
so
people
I
are
don't,
shocked.
I don't. So whether he loses the battle or not, that street credit is going to be there because he was willing, on the optics, he was willing to take it somewhere else.
That's why I said he.
So
could use that.
whether he loses the battle or not, I just don't see how that's gonna. Him losing ain't gonna interfere with the fact that I was real. I was coming to your yard. I was on. It ain't gonna change shit.
I want to see how he.
That's why I want to separate the two.
I don't necessarily agree, but fair enough.
I think I don't know, man. Social media heads will probably feel differently. Twitter fingers will feel differently, but real life people that necessarily aren't on socials and that, and roadmen will see it differently too. That's my personal opinion. And maybe I'm gonna do a survey with some roadmen that I know.
I agree with you there.
Please do. Please do.
Chat shit.
I'm loving. I'm waiting. I can't wait to see how Stormzy uses that angle though. That
Can he use it?
Yeah, man. Like if I've come to, we are gonna disagree on this.
Me
if man
personally,
come to my house, I don't care if I'm there or not. If my mom's at my yard and man knock on my door, my mom's there. Big man, you've come to my house. Something needs to get patterned here.
Me
You've come
personally,
to my
I don't think he
yard.
gains anything by running up on a man's
No, I'm just saying. I
yard.
don't think he gained anything. I just want to see how.
I mean,
'Cause he could play
that's
on
what you
that.
guys have just suggested.
I mean, I'm gonna be real, man. If
What? We'll say that again.
You've just suggested that he's gained a bit of credibility by running up on a man's yard.
People might believe him a little
based,
bit more.
yeah, I mean,
People might believe
the
him.
optics of it would appear that way.
People might believe him
but
a
to
little
us,
bit
man,
more.
in the room is a whole different
Yeah.
view.
So I'm saying, depending on what happened on the between, if you've come to my house, you've come to my yard, bro. That's we literally just said the same thing. Whether you count it as running up or not, you've come to my doorstep with bad intentions. So all that happened if I was there. And if the first thing, I'm not saying Chipmunk has done this, I'm saying if the first thing you've done is chill and then hop on a track and let me know how upset you were. Bro, Stormzy could use that on a mad thing.
Do you think Chip tried to
Am I
move to
wrong?
Mile?
What'd you say?
Do you think Chip tried to move to Mile?
Hell no.
I'm trying to think of what it would be then.
We will
'Cause-
never know.
No, but Chip gets busy with the girls.
I mean, I know.
I don't think he tries to move to Maya.
So you don't think there's anything related to
Maya
a
would have
female?
told me.
You don't think there's anything related to a female? Shut up.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We
That's
don't know.
what-
innit?
That's,
We
that's
don't
what. Yeah, that's what I'm very.
There's nothing, yeah, there's no point guessing, but
We'll find out in time. Innit?
I'm just saying, innit? That angle there, watch.
All I'm saying is, in relation to all that, as much as he can gain credibility by running up on a man's house, he can also lose credibility by doing that and losing the war, depending on whatever circle you're looking at. That's just natural,
I mean, I saw him run up on this.
especially if you lose it convincingly, man.
If he gets battered,
And he could lose it convincingly.
nah, he can't. Stormzy's not that poor. Stop it.
I'm not saying he's not poor. It's not about being poor. Dubby Freestyle was a great song, but Drake lost the battle.
That's because of what Pusha gave us, though, the information he gave us.
That's what I mean. If Stormzy replies and Chip says something that knocks him out the park, not lyrically, but in terms of the gossip,
Can you see that?
he's
happening?
lost convincingly.
I think it'll be close. I've got Chip
A
winning.
part of
but I
me,
think
a
it'll be
part of
close.
me thinks so. Yeah.
That it's gonna be a clean sweep.
No, a part of me thinks that Chip has got dirt on Stormzy that Stormzy isn't prepared for.
Fair enough. It'll be a fun one.
Nah.
What?
I don't think he's got that.
You think he played it all at hand?
No, he's probably still got like more as far as skillful disses, but I don't think he's got that.
I don't know, man. I think
Because if we even listen to what he said on those two tracks, it wasn't anything that we're like, oh my God. It was just like, yo, he's spitting and he's directing it at someone that is very popular.
That was-
he didn't say anything to me that was like, oh
you
my
know,
God.
you know what else was that?
What?
Infrared. It was a bait out. Drake took the bait. Pusha unleashed.
Okay, I see what
That's what I mean. These two songs are just a draw out. These are not the final things. I'm convinced Chip has more than that. Just that, for sure. He's just painting the picture right now.
I think it's different with Pusha's Infrared though, because Push had been baiting him for years. That wasn't the bait. I don't think Pusha's Infrared was the bait.
But
he'd been baiting him, bro.
Blaze was the bait.
But he hadn't been since Two Birds, One Stone.
And I think he was trying to bait Wayne more than he was trying to bait Drake. But because Wayne had fallen back and Drake had become like the lead, the figurehead of that label, he became casualty of war. Because his main issue was with Wayne first. Way back.
But then it morphed into Drake.
Yeah.
So Drake, this is someone Two Birds, One Stone. That's 2016. Pusha doesn't really reply.
Pusha baited him before that, though, bro.
Yeah,
When
I
did
know
Pusha
that.
drop Exodus?
I know that.
Exodus was a
That was
big.
before that.
When was that?
Actually, no,
That was at
might have been
Wayne.
a
That was at
response.
Wayne.
that was like Drake when he said you signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to another nigga and that's fucked up. That
It was
like
Wayne and
Drake.
Drake.
It was both of them.
That was both of them. That was Drake as well because Drake signed to Wayne.
was
he
mainly
signed to
Wayne.
Bird. No, he signed for Drake in that song 100%.
Yeah, but it was mainly Wayne. He was in the midst of his beef with Wayne back then.
Oh, I hear you.
I literally just watched a video about this like a couple weeks ago. Like he was in the midst of the beef with Wayne and it was slowly mutating into Drake, and that's where it started. But back to Two Birds, One Stone, Drake dropped that, and obviously Push had been dropping Subliminal since then, but it took Pusha a while to retaliate to that on Infrared.
It took Drake a while too. I feel like Drake was trying to avoid Push. Because even on Two Birds, One Stone, he was mainly talking to Cudi and Kanye. And that was part of Push's issue with him. He's like, yo, why are you over there? Aim here. You know what I'm saying? So Drake was trying to avoid that. But yeah, after a while, it was impossible.
All I'm saying is Chip is starting as he means to go on. And I think he's got big more in the chamber that
From time he's telling him, hurry
Stormzy
up,
isn't
bro.
prepared for.
Let's see.
Stormzy may have as well, but I think Chip hasn't blown his load just yet in terms of the sort of juicy shit that we would want to know. Maybe not added on levels, but something that we're not expecting.
I think it'll be a close fight.
The industry's it's a nasty place, man. If he's got real dirt on him, then yeah, it just continues that narrative of the industry is a very dirty place, bro. Everyone knows something about everyone.
And everyone partakes.
What did Nas say? It's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame?
Oh, fuck's sake.
I've heard that about once a
Much
week.
success to you, even if I wish it the opposite.
But salute to both of them,
We'll
innit?
all see what the fit is.
Salute to both of them. I've got Chipmunk 9th round TKO.
9th round.
Yeah.
It's not going on that long, big man. It's not going on that long.
No, I'm trying shit. I've got Chipmunk winning though, but I think
It's not going to be like Chip Bugsy because that lasted for about 2
that was
years.
childish, bruv. That was just unnecessary longish.
Yeah, that lasted about 2 years.
He won't look, but Stormzy won't come out like Youngin. Put it that way.
About who?
Like Youngin.
I said Bugsy. You said Youngin.
I'm saying Stormzy won't look like Youngin.
Now, he'll do better for us than Youngin did. Youngin just...
You might already want to know in these
Yeah,
streets.
but Stormzy's too big though.
To even go out like that, innit? Yeah, to even go out like that. Who's the pressure on? Because Chipmunk's known as a warlord.
There's pressure on Stormzy.
And there's pressure on Stormzy for being Stormzy, but who's the pressure on? Because Chipmunk's...
There's pressure on
It's
Stormzy.
on Stormzy.
You don't think there's pressure on Chipmunk? Because Chipmunk's
not
the
at all.
warlord.
Not at all. Chip doesn't lose anything. Chip's got everything to
You don't think the
gain.
expectations on Chip as well, though?
Absolutely.
They both have nothing to lose from this. But Stormzy, if any of them have anything to lose, Stormzy has more to lose.
Because if he gets...
Because of his position. Chip has been doing this. If he loses, he goes back to his position, keeps making tunes. No one cares.
And Chip's not popping. So he's got nothing to lose. And
Stormzy's-
everything to
even
gain.
if Stormzy get battered, bro, he will go do another Glastonbury.
Well, even, I don't think, even if Chip wins, his position doesn't change.
No one's position changes.
He still remains that warlord.
He just added another body.
Because his music ain't popping.
Even if he loses, you caught a bruise.
And clearly he makes his best music when he's warring.
Yeah.
He loves it, bro. He's been, from time he dropped Waves, he was just waiting for this, bro. He was waiting for this.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Yo, what the fuck is a street banger, man?
A street bang.
What the
Oh,
fuck
I was
is a
even meant to look. I was even meant to watch that video with Lippy in there, man. So basically, the context of that is Lippy and a couple other man, Margs, and a couple other people were on Link Up TV, and they were doing a show where they were deciding the top 5 street bangers of all time, I believe. And there was a lot of controversy as to what was being picked. Lippy, I think, was picking stuff like "Pow." I think he picked one Fredo song, a couple others. Don't quote
Hunter?
me. Maybe, yeah. Don't quote me, but he picked a couple and he got a bit of corn for it. So the TL has kind of been going mad about what the best street bangers are. And I guess I just wanted to bring that here and talk about which are some of the more slept on street bangers that maybe not get as much recognition or love. To define what a street banger is, I guess it's what keeps... I guess a street banger is something that, I mean, obviously the streets love, and something that the streets probably... Something that... it's difficult.
See?
Something that excites the streets. It's a banger that, you know, is very, very hood, obviously, in subject matter, in delivery, in who the artists are, and just bangers that the streets take to.
And also one that doesn't chart, if you get what I mean. If it's a street banger, does it chart?
There's an
the way
element
I
of that.
judge a street banger is like, I don't know, talking the hardest one, probably the biggest street banger ever.
I think there might be an element to that. There's an underground element to it.
The 100, the Morphi crew, they don't...
What do we count as street? Because
the subject matter.
Is this happening? All right, fine. But is this happening in clubs as well? Is clubs an extension of the streets? Like,
yeah.
I don't even understand what the fuck this means, bruv.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you. No, I genuinely can't lie.
They do.
I think it's like, I have some of an idea, but it's a very like, I heard about this debate and I didn't check it out just because I've got better things to do. But
and he wonders why people.
But
don't like
obviously, I've spoken to like all my friends and that, and they've asked me the same question too. Like, yo, P, what's your top 5 UK bangers? And I'm just like, yo, or UK street bangers. I'm like, bro, I don't actually understand what that means. Is it like most of it? Is it songs that don't chart? Is it songs that like you only hear bumping on cars on road? Is it songs that are only popular in the clubs? Like, we need to define what we even mean by street banger.
They impact the streets and the clubs.
In the club, 50 Cent was impactful on the streets, in the clubs, on the charts. Is that a street banger?
No.
Yes.
In the club.
It's a lot of things. Street banger is one of them.
I don't look at in the club as a street banger. Number one, because the most important thing for a street banger to me is subject matter. Subject matter is a key thing for me on a street banger. If it's a street banger, the first thing that matters to me personally, just me personally, is your content matter.
I think I disagree with that, bro.
Nah, I think the
me.
pure essence of a street banger, to be very, very superficial, it's a song that impacts the streets. It doesn't necessarily have to be street content.
How are you measuring impact on the streets, though? Just everybody listening?
Everybody listening. When it goes off in the club, people are going mad. When it goes off in the streets, people are going mad.
But for a song to make the club, doesn't it somewhat have to have been bubbling in the mainstream?
No, not necessarily.
Really?
Depends on. No, I don't think so. I don't think these days. Talking the hardest definitely wasn't that.
Different time though.
Exactly. These times now, you don't need to be popping in the mainstream.
I think, all right, well then, street banger now is definitely, you define it differently to how you might have considered a street banger back in the day then. A song like 21 Seconds, would you count that as, by So Solid, would you count that as a street banger? Considering that, I think it charted.
Yeah, I would still consider that a street banger. Street bangers can chart. Because there are loads of drill tunes now and there are loads of UK rap tunes now that are charting.
Then if that's the case, then we might need to do away with that term then. Because it ain't a street banger, it's just a banger.
But I think, I feel you, but I also think they can be different things. It can be a street banger, but it can also chart. The two are not mutually exclusive. Because if you put on that song on the streets and in the clubs, it's still going to go off as much as it charts. So it can be different things. In the club is the perfect example. Like, it can be a street banger because it made heat in the streets first, and obviously it charted. And even if it charts, like, it doesn't diminish any kind of street value that it has.
That's just, I feel you, I get your point. What was you going to say?
Sorry, Mo, go on.
Come.
All right. I guess when I think of street banger, I think of songs that aren't going to chart, that you're only going to see like a reaction to on road.
Fair enough.
On the blocks, out of cars, just in your local communities. In every local community, that's how I see a street banger. If it's anything more than that, then it becomes a bit more than a street banger to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. And
so these days, I think it's very difficult to measure because as much as you have like the underground and all of that, like a lot of what happens on road and a lot of what happens in these clubs somewhat dictates what is happening commercially as well for me. especially in the UK.
That's been the case
the
for
moment.
time.
Yeah, we are pop culture. That's what it feels like. So with that, it's difficult to measure what's a street banger for me.
Because the lines are being blurred.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel that.
You have white kids in flipping
Essex.
Middlesex, or not even Middlesex, but like anywhere like outside of London that, you know, are fucking with these heavy drill artists. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, them man probably aren't charting. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It just becomes a bit murky.
If we're to take it to the US then, when you consider stuff like NWA, Straight Outta Compton, Fuck the Police, why they're not necessarily street bangers? White people are consuming that. And it's stuff that reports on what's going on in the streets. And obviously they make an impact on the streets first before anything else. Do you consider those street bangers, or do you consider those more than that?
I mean, if we're speaking about NWA specifically, that's a bit harder just because of the time. That was like late 80s, early 90s. It was a different time for like rap. Rap was still, as far as becoming commercial, was still tethering on that line of fully crossing over. But if it's, and I hate this, man, but I guess if it's attracting like kids from the suburbs, then it might be a little bit more than just street music.
But that's always going to be the case.
And I hate that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't. You know how I feel about that anyway. But kids from the suburb, white kids are always going to latch onto it. There's nothing you could do about that, no matter what it is.
So are we basing whether it's street
If
on
it's-
whether white kids...
No, we judge it on where we're from. If it bubbles, we're in our ends. We can't control.
Oh, so that's if it becomes commercial.
Yeah, that's what, like, for example, I'll give you an example. A street banger, say, Bobby Schmurda, Hot Nigga. That was definitely a street banger. Ended up becoming one of the biggest songs in the world. You can't deny if something's still a street. Do you get what I'm saying? Or even though it's a street, you can't control how big it gets. The suburbs are always going to hear it. But to me, the one thing I look for if it's a street song is the content matter. Depending on what I hear.
I mean, more often than not.
More often
than not, it has that content. But if we're just talking the literal definition, it doesn't necessarily have to have that kind of content to bang in the streets.
Fair enough. I get it. It's tricky though, innit? I guess it depends.
Street bangers don't have to be street. That's what I'm saying.
I guess it also depends on where you're from though, innit? Because more time we're obviously growing up in Tottenham, street banger, because of what bubbles in.
Oh, you're from Tottenham, are you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to talk too much. But because of what everyone likes in my area. And not everyone, but do you get what I'm saying? And then the banging, Tottenham would always be street shit. I guess that's why I've always associated a street banger with street shit.
But you've also got to remember something that SAS said last time. When they went back to the States after Craig David, whatever song that came out?
7 days?
Maybe. People on the streets were bumping that shit. Over there.
Yeah, but that's just a banger, innit? That's just a commercial success song.
But it makes heat in the streets. It's not necessarily a street banger in the sense of it's not street content, but if it bangs in the streets and it's making an impact on the streets and people are loving it.
No, I get it. If you're taking the actual literal sense, I get what you're saying.
I mean, it can go in the direction you want it to go.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to tackle it from different angles. And to those guys' credit who did it on the Link Up, they were naming tunes that were street. Pow, Talking the Hardest, Pain is the Essence. I think They Ain't 100 was in there. And a few others as well.
I see why.
Yeah, for sure. So it could be any definition you want it to be, but the idea of a street banger has kind of transcended the streets because obviously they're going into clubs.
Is there such thing as street banger anymore? With the way the world is today?
Or with the internet and that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because if the streets...
It can't chart,
if the
That's the key thing about it.
It can't.
You don't think it could chart?
It can't chart.
It's got to stay very, very loyal to the term. It has to stay on the street. If it becomes more than that, at a certain point, then cool. But I think in the initial stages of that song being released, then it needs to build its roots in the street, be received by people on the streets for a period of time before it then becomes something else. Because I guess that's what happened with Giggs is Talking the Hardest. I think it had really been rooted in like the hoods, and then after many, many years, it became a bit more than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it ever charted, but I think anybody that is now into UK rap or grime knows that song. Do you know what I'm saying? And even people that maybe aren't into the music like that, but they're aware of Giggs, probably know that song. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but it had its roots in the streets. you know what I'm saying? And then it became more. So that's probably what I guess a street song today would need to do as well. And that's how I feel about most drill songs. Like most drill songs probably have that feeling of being rooted in the streets. You hear, you know what I mean? You hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
On the streets, not beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So then that, you could probably associate with that being a street banger. If it does become more than that, cool, but the initial genesis of it is it being rooted on road.
So, do you still then kind of believe that street bangers can't really be mainstream?
They can become mainstream. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of street rappers are becoming mainstream.
But what I mean by that is, by becoming mainstream, they lose their street essence.
Naturally.
Do they though?
Yeah,
I
because
don't
if
think so.
If you think about, well, look at all the top 5 street bangers that people normally name. They never chart.
Pow, Lethal B,
Did that chart?
has never.
I don't think it's got anything.
No, but bro, you got.
I'm saying the reason why I think we rate them so highly is subconsciously because it stayed in the streets.
They're underground.
Do you get what I'm saying? Just subconsciously because it stayed in the streets.
You gotta
it plays
consider that.
bigger
But then
to
how?
us.
Sorry, Mo. How are we measuring underground then? Because Pow's not an underground song. Not
It was.
Not anymore.
Oh, it's not anymore. How we
And
judge
so
it?
it hasn't stayed street, but it's still street song to me.
I mean, the underground is just the streets.
Pow is
What
a
man them
gunshot.
what man them are listening to?
Pow is literally a gunshot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does it get? I don't think it gets more street than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the definition of underground in this example is just mandem. What mandem on the road are listening to?
Yeah.
What gal them on the road
So
are listening
street
to?
banger is referring to Mandem.
Mandem, whoever's on the streets,
To
man.
me, yeah. Whoever's
Yeah,
on
no.
road.
Whoever's on the streets.
Whoever's on road.
Whoever's outside on the stoop, outside your house, just chilling, maybe trapping.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Those type of mandem.
100%.
Or gal. So those people. It's kind of like, I mean, the streets, like, it's a term, innit? It's an umbrella term for all the hoods. So it's like, it's street bangers the same as hood banger. Like, if it bangs in your hood, and it bangs in the streets as well. But being a street banger that then goes commercial, I don't think it loses an essence of the streets because the streets are what inevitably got them there in the first place. It's seeing more eyes in the mainstream sense, but I don't necessarily think that affects the street value as much.
It irritates me though.
And you're not the only one, bro.
Like,
a
when I
lot
see-
of people feel that way.
When I see, say, if I go to a festival, and you can edit this out if you want. When I see certain man singing, talking the hardest, it irritates me.
Non-black.
If you want to take it that way, you can take it that way.
Sure.
When you man join in, it don't hit the same. And I can't help that. That's always been the case with me. I just naturally, I will get irritated.
You need to evolve, bro.
Hey, man.
Music is not just black music, especially.
Not about anyone at the hood.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Anyone
but,
at the hood.
But I'm
But
I'm
you
saying.
have white people from the hood too.
But it's,
And Asian people from the hood.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying they can't listen to it. They say lie wire. They can listen to it if they want.
but you have a problem with them.
I'm sorry, no,
Not necessarily them.
Not the posh ones.
The posh ones.
Yeah.
Oh, so people that are nowhere near.
Yeah,
that lifestyle.
this ain't, you're nowhere near the scene. You're from Middlesbrough.
Or Bolton.
You're very conservative, Mo, man.
How?
You're making it seem as if these men can't enjoy just rapping about this sort, just reciting lyrics.
No, enjoy it. Just hide your enjoyment.
Why?
Just enjoy the corner. Does that make me bad though? Just because
You're
I'd
a
rather
rap-
keep it to the element of what it is. That's all it is. I'd rather keep
But
it.
it's
Bro, I-
music,
I
bro.
would never
It's
say-
music, bro. It's music, bro. If music was like that, then none of these men would be stars.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Everyone would just be on the stoop trapping.
No, it's a double-edged sword. Like that's the only song I look at and I think when I hear street, I like the element of it being in the streets. Whether it's Tottenham, whether it's South, whether it's East, whether it's West, just keep it
But
there.
you do
man.
know that every black person ain't from the streets, though.
100%.
Exactly. So what about those people that are consuming the music? You got black squares as well that just like, you know,
Why you word it like that?
because it's the truth, bro.
No, I
Like,
feel you. I'm not
I'm
just
saying.
saying I like
I don't
it
consider myself to be street at
I
all.
like it when it doesn't go mainstream, put it that way. And I can't help it. I've always been the case. I like when it's a
And
bit
I get
mainstream.
that. I get that.
It's a snobby way
I
because you
get
feel
that.
like you're.
No,
you've
we've
got
done
it.
that though. We've done that. It's the same thing as when Dizzy went pop.
Yeah.
Like we didn't want that because he was ours.
Yeah.
And I get that. But grow up.
So what about when Heady One blows? Because he's pretty much there, right?
Different times.
Or Jay Huss. Jay Huss is a roadman.
I still think it's different times in a sense because they're not necessarily doing a Dizzy. they're still very much doing what they want to do, making the music they want to make.
To be fair to Dizzy though, he didn't like all the way go pop immediately after the first album.
No.
The second album was still very good.
Yeah.
It was after that, I think.
It was after the third album.
Was it Maths in English?
No, it was after the third album.
What was the third one?
No, the fourth, sorry.
Second one was
Tongue in
Showtime.
Cheek.
Tongue in Cheek. That was the fourth one, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the fifth it had Robbie Williams in it. He had gone pop. Yeah.
I'm not even mad.
And he's a
at that.
millionaire. off it.
I'm not even
mad at it now.
because even if you look at his discography, it's still not that bad. It might. I think where he's made music from a point of integrity still probably outweighs the poppier when he was trying to cross over. So I don't think it's that bad. There's nuance in his discography, which isn't
It's solid
the worst thing in the
overall.
world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these big stars done the exact same shit.
Majority.
Prince has got albums where it's kind of like, nah. MJ's got albums where it's like, yo, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's okay. But
And now we live in a time where Heady One can make drill and chart. There are drill tunes that are charting, so they don't have to compromise as much.
but then with
Fredo
that,
charts.
where does the streets fit into that?
Street bangers are charting too.
Then do we lose, quote unquote, the street banger then? If they are charting, because for them to chart, they're being grabbed by the mainstream immediately.
If we're going by Mo's definition, then yes. But I don't necessarily think that's the case, because especially if it's about street shit, there's an element of the streets that will always be there, that the streets will always gravitate to. So it just depends on how you look at it.
100 charted. And that was the biggest song in the streets for
Who's
a
that
while. Fredo. Fuck them, I don't know them, they ain't 100. That song charted, I think. And that song was massive for a while.
Heady has a song where he starts 1800 for the new Rusty. So, and it charted. It actually charted quite high, actually.
Chart.
What, no better?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
No, probably not actually. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the one I put him on the scene anyway.
Yeah.
Bro,
and that's a street banger.
That is a street banger, 100%.
Bro, I don't know.
created a whole
man.
new
If it starts to chart, I think we're starting to lose the feel of a street banger, man. Because it means that the masses are grabbing it early, and that's not bad, but for like purists that like street songs by the very definition of the word, we lose it, man. So Solid wouldn't be the same. I mean, 21 Seconds wouldn't be the same if it was grabbed immediately. And there are a lot of like street songs that wouldn't be the same if they were grabbed immediately, man. I think those songs became what they were because of what they meant to us, and they meant what they meant to us because of the fact only we loved it at that particular moment, and then the rest started to catch on. So if we lose that feel where we hear about this song first, we love it first, like bare of us love it first, and then these men start catching on, I don't think it loses that. I think you lose it, man. You lose that feel.
You lose a little something.
Yeah, man, you do. And and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just happens.
But that's why I said I don't class it in the club as a street banger, because of how big it got. Do you get what I mean? Because of how big in the club got. Can't class it in the club as a street banger.
Because even like West Side Gun, Conway, Rock Marciano, as great as their man are to me, and they will never, because they're still making like great underground music, they will never lose it to me. But it's become, because of the fandom that they're now attracting, what it meant before or what it felt like before is a bit different. Rock Marciano specifically, or even someone like an MF Doom, innit? You love Doom, but the more people catch on to it, for some strange reason, the more of an allure it loses. And I don't know why that is. Madlib, perfect example.
Yeah.
Madlib seemed so much greater when people didn't realize how great he was. These last couple of years, people are now deep in it. Alchemist too.
Let's be real here.
Go on.
Let's be real here.
Oh boy. Why are you smiling for?
You man.
He's going to say something I don't like.
I know what he's
You
going
man.
to say.
Go on.
You man just want to be part of this I Swear It First club.
Nah, not me. I'm okay with not.
But I'm talking about people who argue like you've just argued. It just seems to me that you kind of want to be part of this exclusive club that has this thing and are able to enjoy it before it gets big enough to attract more people. It's kind of same kind of thing with Griselda, what you said. Like, you kind of, maybe you don't feel a way about them, you know, getting more and more attention and stuff, but you say it's losing a little bit of what made them so great in the first place.
It just feels a tad bit different, innit? Because sometimes when something is when you've seen something first, you feel like, yeah, you know what, like I'm onto this journey.
It's ownership.
Yeah.
It's ownership. It's
100%,
territory. It's
100%,
territory.
100%.
It's territory. And I get that. But in all that, I suppose I think about it differently. You can still have that even if they are mainstream. I don't think they lose, especially if they're like principled artists as well, that like Griselda do the same sort of stuff, very like consistent with that. A little bit of interview time here, radio time here is not going to affect that to me.
But sometimes it can dilute the music, which is what people fear when you have these street underground artists and albums. When they're being released, the more notoriety they get, it can dilute the sound. Anderson .Paak is a perfect example. When he released Malibu, was so different to when he released Ventura. No, sorry, when he released Oxnard. Do you know what I'm saying? It's different. When he got to Oxnard, he was somewhere else compared to when he was at Malibu. When he was at Malibu, I think he probably had a bit more time to be artistically greater because there were no pressures. But because of the critical acclaim he was getting from the album, and the fact that he was working with Dre as well, when it came to the second album, there was probably a bit of pressure to, I guess, bring more people in. And that album was cack.
It wasn't cack.
It was cack, man.
It wasn't cack.
All right, cool.
Nothing Anderson .Paak does can be cack.
Did you listen to that album?
I did listen to that album. The only problem I see with that album is that people feel like he was rapping too much. And I don't really get it. I like him when he raps. But that's just me.
To me, it was cack in it. But yeah, people feel like, the more attention something gets if it was underground, the more diluted it becomes. So I get that.
Niggas want my old shit, buy my old album.
Okay.
That's fine, but if we're trying to grow with the artists as well and be with them on that journey, then that doesn't suffice.
I mean, it does now.
Because we want you to grow, but it doesn't mean we want you to make shitter music.
But it's only shit to them.
It's shit. It's going to be shitter to the day ones if we feel like, let me not even say we, because I don't even want to group myself in.
But that's another thing.
But it's going to be shitter to those that feel like as they grow with the artists and the bigger they become, it's become more diluted.
Yeah, but that's not fair. It's not fair on the artist.
No, nobody's saying don't expand and try different things. But as fans, as anyone consuming the music, you're allowed to not be satisfied if it's subpar to what you used to do.
But we're not arguing whether it's subpar or not. We're asking
Gigs is a great example.
But we're not arguing about whether the music is subpar. We're arguing about the direction of the music. That's what we're arguing.
And the direction a lot of time can determine whether it's subpar or not.
But people have a problem with the direction even if it's not subpar.
Nah, I disagree with that.
I don't disagree with
Like,
that. I think that's true.
Give me an example of someone.
Dizzy was still rapping on tongue in cheek, but he was making pop tunes that people didn't like. They didn't like the direction. And already Dizzy is seemingly a bit of a likable. Huh?
It was subpar music, man.
In comparison to The Boy in the Corner, of course it's going to be subpar, but it was still solid music.
For me, nah.
You hate it?
No, I'm not even hating it, but it just wasn't great music to listen to. And you can't compare it to Boy in the Corner because that's Boy in the Corner.
Then you have every right to criticize. You can still voice your opinion as a fan if you feel like someone's heading towards the wrong direction.
I'm not saying you can't, but what I'm saying is when you do that, it again, I suppose it kind of just increases the whole idea of you feeling like I was here first and now look what's going on. You've lost an essence of something, which is naturally going to happen if you're becoming more recognizable. You've got to appeal to different audiences and stuff like that. Naturally, your sound or your material is going to expand a certain way because you want to go beyond the streets.
Yeah.
But when
that doesn't mean make bad music.
To you, bro.
No, bad music is bad music.
Bro, like growing beyond the streets.
Sometimes bad
That's subjective. Bad music is subjective.
If someone
for
was
most
headed
of the
towards,
time.
true, but if someone's headed towards something and then they come out with an album that's complete opposite to what they were making when they were coming up, you've got every right to criticize and be like, hang on a minute. Especially if it sounds shit.
And I'm not saying you don't have. Of course, you can do that. But whether you think it's bad or not, it's your opinion. It's subjective. Music, really. No music is bad subjectively, really. Objectively, sorry.
Okay.
No music is bad subjectively, really. It's just how you feel about it.
Nah, man, I disagree with that.
Of course you disagree. You're a snob.
Bad.
Of course you disagree.
Some music is bad.
Of course you disagree.
You saying Eminem post 2003?
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
But you will find people that like that
and
sort of
fine.
thing.
That's
but that's
fine.
what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, and that's fine, but there's some music that's just bad, man. And if you like it, God bless you. But shit, there's music that's bad, man.
All right, cool. But that's not objective.
To you.
That's not objective.
To you.
Okay, whatever.
But do we all agree that Talking the Hardest is the number one street song ever?
I don't know about that.
I can't think of
I wouldn't say that.
I would say, what do you think of Talking the Hardest?
I don't know if it's the biggest.
I think Talking the Hardest is the national anthem.
The biggest or the best?
The biggest.
Oh, then probably.
In this country?
Probably not. What?
What would you say?
Are we counting 21 seconds?
Well, I wasn't.
Whether
you want
it's
to.
grime, garage, or whatever, are we counting that?
I think we was talking.
Yeah, can count that.
Then that's got to be in that conversation, bro, because that
was massive.
was different.
Yeah, that was massive. I still remember when they performed at the Mobile.
That song and Dizzy's "I Love You" are like, for me, the ones where I remember that I could not go anywhere, and that was very early on in like my music listenership. Like, but it was different. I haven't experienced anything like that. And then Giggs is Talking the Hardest brought me back to that nostalgia of how I felt when I heard 21 Seconds by So Solid.
But if we're talking
as well,
that's where it gets tricky, because if we're talking street bangers, Talking the Hardest was a lot bigger than I Love You, in my opinion. A lot bigger. Like ridiculously bigger.
Depends on what you mean by big, though.
Just the replay value, the amount of people listening to it, the amount of years it's continued. Bro, National Anthem is...
Does Talking the Hardest have more replay value than...
Oh, you've definitely heard like,
Then I Love
Talking
You.
the Hardest more times than you heard I Love You over the last decade.
Over the last decade,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yes,
probably,
of
yeah.
course. But I'm talking overall.
I would say Talking the Hardest.
Because I Love You is right up there in terms of importance.
I just think, I get you, I think Talking the Hardest was bigger. And
It probably was.
And it had a bigger impact.
It probably was.
I think we would need some sort of criteria to measure. Like, if we were going to actually do this list of the best UK bangers, UK street bangers, we would need a
I
criteria.
mean, I was only going to suggest underrated ones, but if we're going to talk about big ones, then...
I mean, what's underrated then?
For me, I only had one. Can't Come to the Roadside.
Yeah, it probably is underrated, but for its time, when it came out, it didn't feel underrated.
Not at all.
But I think since then, people don't really know.
That's when
much
everyone had
about it.
them flip phones. I couldn't go nowhere without someone playing it off their flip phone.
Yeah, it was definitely for the era, but when we look back on it now, I don't know if we look back on that and think, "Wow, that was a time." You know
That
what I mean?
probably speaks to Roadside G's as well, like, and you know how, I guess, forgotten they are.
True.
Yeah, because they got broken up before they could even really begin.
Yeah,
Who would you go for, Pete?
underrated. I don't think I've got one, man, because I wasn't even sure how to measure it.
Yeah.
If I was gonna say underrated,
Is that right? Do you want me to go what you think?
yeah, man, I don't think I've got one, man.
I don't know if this is underrated though.
Go on.
I would have picked last week. More Fire Crew Oi.
That's not underrated.
That's not underrated though, is it?
Hell no.
No, but not one of them mentioned it. That's the only reason why I said that. Like, not one of them mentioned that in that link up video on
who's them?
TV. I don't think that link up thing. I don't think a single person said More Fire Crew Oi.
Oh, probably not, actually. But I don't think it's underrated, though.
Fair enough.
As in one that
I thought
maybe went under the radar.
slept on. It might get slept on.
Yeah, isn't as appreciated as much as others that are typical candidates.
Because I remember More Fire Crew was the biggest thing in going for a little while.
Yeah, there's no
When
way
they're
oil
fat
is
Abe-
underrated.
When that fat Avett check it, fam.
I Can See You, Crazy Titch.
Oh shit!
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
I can see you. You can see me. Oh, that was a
Yeah,
little banger.
that did something. That did something.
That was a little.
Little something.
That was a little something.
That was a little something.
That was a little something.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of that era because there's probably loads from that era.
Yeah.
Like, obviously in the Channel U era,
That was one from
Channel U.
Oh,
gone.
Saskila. I said, oh, Saskila.
No.
Want to see? Okay.
Yeah, Flirter D had a few.
I said, let me see. Okay. Aye, fam. No, that was a bag. What? Ooh, I said, ooh, Saskila. I said, ooh, Cantona. I said, ooh, Cantona. Stop it. I never need to come to the podcast. Cause I want to know how them away the ooh, Cantona. Nah, fam.
All right, cool. That wasn't a street banger though.
I would say, it was a street banger in Tottenham. Double S from day, but I was in Tottenham.
Cool.
I repped it from day, and I kept it from day.
Yeah, that was definitely only in Tottenham.
That was definitely only in Tottenham.
The obvious subjects, obviously Giggs dominates the biggest ones as well. Talking the hardest pain is the essence.
100 will be my top 5.
100.
Yeah, man, that was massive.
C-Biz, The Game Was Mine as well. That was in there. That was in there.
Don't think I've ever listened to C-Biz personally.
Oh, you've listened to it when we've been out.
Yeah, I don't think I listen.
No, I mean either. I mean,
Do
yeah.
you remember what was a street banger, fam? I got something for you, lot. Remember Liberty?
Lumi D.
Oh, that was a street banger.
That was actually on the street.
That was a big street banger. What? Man, that fabulous. You're never gonna leave. Feels so good. Oh, that was a banger.
I never really hear the remix of that anymore. I only really heard the original.
I hate
So
that.
that makes me forget that Fabulous was ever on that.
I think the original's whack. Bust down. Come on. You can't stay tonight. But the in the night. Oof, that was a big street banger.
For you?
Younger Mate Ooh was a street banger.
I mean, that was a carbon copy of another street banger. Doesn't really count.
She controls Z, control V, that thing comes.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count at all.
She legit control pasted that as well.
So to summarize, we still don't really know what a street banger is. But shout out to all the street bangers out there. Obviously, you've done a lot to cultivate a lot of heat in these streets. And long may it continue. Mainstream or not.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to episode 38. We appreciate it. If you want to help out the podcast, give us a follow on Spotify. And if you listen on Apple, rate us. That helps us get to more people's faces and get more visible wherever you get your podcast. So help us out, you know what I'm saying? Follow us on all the socials at Rhymes Dimes Pod. Lads, anything else?
No, man, just thank you for listening.
What Peter said. I salute to my jammer.
Don't say what I said, say your own thing.
I'm a grown man, fam. I said what I said, I commit to it now, fam.
He said salute to my jammer.
I salute to my jammer, fam.
Ooh,
What can I say, fam?
Salute to my jammer.
It's a relationship now, guys.
So what?
it's a fake relationship.
Yo, fam, the bitter in you.
I'm
Yeah.
not even bitter. Well, I'm hating.
Yo, it's not even healthy.
what am I
You know when
hating?
man start rubbing their stomach, they're hating, you know.
Oh, I'm hating.
When man start rubbing their stomach, it's a different kind of hate. Ew.
And on that note, we're going to be out. Take care. Peace.